My husband gave our honeymoon flight to his coworker without asking me.
You're now married to this person.
Trigger warning for financial mistreatment. My husband and I got married 2 years ago during the middle of the vid lockdown. We were to go to France and Germany for our honeymoon. We saved the tickets, and to be honest, I paid for most of them. This is both a second marriage, both 43, and our finances have stayed separate for the most part due to my insistence. We have tried to go 3 times to our honeymoon, and lockdowns or illnesses have left us stateside. My husband is very well traveled, and I haven't been to many places. I've tried to talk to him about using the credit to go somewhere in the States, but he insists we wait. He's stingy on money, and I have paid the majority of every travel we have done, which is mostly with my children. He has made me feel really bad about wanting to change the plans because he says it's giving up on our honeymoon. I haven't been anywhere, and even going to a coast would be amazing. Today, when I got home from work, he said he had a coworker, 25, who's stuck in Florida on vacation due to a flood that happened there recently. He says her car was totaled and has no way to get back to work. And he offered to fly her back with our credit. I was dumbfounded. I asked if we'll be paid back, and he shrugged and said, doesn't feel like she needs to because she's going to registered nurse school. And I'm an RN, and I worked hard for every dime I make working in the ICU. He didn't ask me to use the credit. He assumed I would be fine with it. No. It only came up in conversation about how crazy his day was. Am I the a-hole for saying no to using the credit on a coworker? Am I the a-hole for feeling like he cared more for this woman than me? And we've got an update, but what do you think?
Yeah, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you? She's going to nursing school. She doesn't have to pay us back.
We had the credits. I know you paid for them, but they exist, and we're not using them right now. So let's just give them away.
You want to be a selfish monster and prevent this poor woman who's going to nursing school from getting a flight back? How dare you?
I don't understand why she can't get a flight. Because he didn't say, oh, she can't afford it. She just said, like, he just said, oh, she's stuck.
How many times do I have to say it? She's in nursing school.
She's in nursing school.
Think of the nurses.
I have to give her my points.
God.
And he's like, well, I'm a registered nurse too. And he's like, shoot.
Right. All right. No. And follow me here. Are you in nursing school? No. No, you're not.
And
you're already a nurse.
That's the difference. She needs to fly to nursing school. Update. Just logged into an old computer and found this account that I no longer use. I had completely forgotten about it, and honestly have only a vague recollection of posting it due to the circumstances I will get into. The marriage ended right after this. It looks like this is almost 3 years old. Wow. And I've been away from this man as of 3 years in July 2025. This was one of the last arguments we had. He told me I was very uncaring about this stranger in Florida. Why don't you care about the person you don't know? And if I was a nice person, money would be no object to get her. Let's just get everyone. Let's pay for everyone's flights.
Yeah, why don't we just
throw everyone
add
us to it too, you know?
Yeah, pay for my flight. I don't need to go anywhere, but
you don't know
anyway.
where are we going to nursing school?
Where are we going for this flight?
We're going to Japan.
Guys, let's go to nursing school in Japan.
Yeah.
Japanese nursing school.
Perfect.
You want to go
Japanese
right
nursing
here?
school. Ho!
Right there. By this point in the marriage, I handed him my phone when I got home from work, and he would give it to me when I left for work. I tried to leave several times each time I came back. When I wrote this post, I was downloading the audiobook Why Does He Do That by Bancroft and then deleting it each evening before I handed my phone to him. This book saved my life. It gave me the courage to try to get away and understand that he wasn't going to change. So about a week after this post, I went to get the mail, something I was not allowed to do, but something told me I needed to. In the mailbox was a $35,000 check from my inheritance of my aunt. I stuffed it in my underwear and it stayed there until the next day. I was slowly gathering my dog, purse, and documents for an opportunity to leave. He had to leave for 2 hours for work, and I called my daughter and she came to pick me up. I didn't even have shoes on. I was so anxious. That was July 1st, 2022. I'll save you all the work it took to get to where I am today, but I will say that my life is good. My life is joyous. My life is safe and peaceful. I'm officially divorced, and it took 2 years of him screaming to do that. He has yet to pay me a dime for the house that I bought, and I don't expect to see it as he is in contempt. Thank you so much for the advice that you gave me that day. I'm not sure if he was having an affair with that woman or not. Most likely he was getting to the point where he was. All evidence points to that. I don't care though. I was so far gone that I don't even remember the post. It was like complaining about the smell of smoke when your whole house is on fire. Thank you again for being so gentle with me. To the woman who told me to use the credit and go to the coast a year ago, I did. I took one of my daughters and we went to Oregon and Washington, hiked, sunbathed on the beach, rock-hounded, did all the things. So this person on Reddit says, am I the a-hole for refusing to take my wife back after she cheated just to see if she still had it?
Oh God, that's pretty rough. But OP, I got something for you.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Come to our live show, May 23rd at the Stray Theater in Hollywood.
Wait, how does that help his marriage?
It won't. It will help his confidence, though. Show starts at 7. And OP, bring whoever you love, or whatever's left.
I like this advice.
And if you want to come too, go to okop.show and get your tickets there for just $20.
We'll see you there. Again, thank you so much for all the support you gave me 3 years ago. Comments, BK Worm Trisha says, I suggest you talk to a lawyer and see if you can sue him for the house and force a sale with you getting the money. Work only through a lawyer so he never knows where you live. OP says, also when I went to get my things awarded to me, he met me and 5 others to help me move and stay safe. That was a year ago. Since then, I don't deal with him at all, but have my lawyer deal with it.
Yeah, he met you and 5 big burly guys saying,
Yeah.
hey, buddy, you want a knuckle sandwich
Yeah,
over here?
we'll show you rock hounding.
I'll show you a rock. I'll tell you, bang, and then I'll bury him underneath one.
You'll
What
be
a
howling.
bow, boom, bop, bow, bang.
Substantial Ad says this man is unhinged. So proud of you for getting out. OP says my friends, 2 of them were his friends too, and are no longer, jumped on him to stop him from locking the door with me in it. This is
Nice.
terrifying, and we probably will need to update the trigger warnings.
I would take my hand and I would form it into like a blade, and I would go.
What are
And
you?
it would,
What are
like,
you? A Viltrumite?
It would create a hole, and then
And then you're
and
done.
then use your imagination from there.
Yeah.
and then something happens.
I would season 4 episode 5 him.
I'm gonna season 4 episode 5
Done.
this guy,
Yeah,
but
that's-
except everything's fine.
But I'm good.
No one knows what we're talking about. It's for the best.
Yeah, you don't want to know.
Don't ask questions. Don't do research. We're gonna move forward now.
He then got in his truck and sped off, swerving. Since he did this in front of people, he was charged with attempted harmful acts and battery with a vehicle. He was awful to 3 women in his life. He was 46 when it finally caught up with him. OP says, I've been doing this. The wheels of justice are slow. The amount has been awarded to me. Now he is in contempt. And we've got an update 9 months later, a full baby later. Wowee. Yeah, I am very impressed that you got away from this situation. That seemed pretty awful.
Yeah, I hope you stay away.
Yeah.
I hope this update is like 9 months later. I just became a astronaut.
I am an astronaut.
Astronaut nurse.
I'm an astronaut nurse.
Astronurse.
Astro nurse. I am Astro Boy, and I'm saving the world. 9 months later. This is still a throwaway account for me, so it's like Christmas morning when months later I open it and see a comment or 2. So as of November 2025, I have been paid for my half of the house. Woohoo! He, of course. I thought you were going to sing that.
He thought he could surprise me, but he could not.
Couldn't do it. He, of course, didn't go through proper channels and was in contempt, but it's done. I had to go to mediation again, which was traumatic. Seeing him made me sick to my stomach. I don't think there will ever be a time that he won't invoke a visceral response in me. Other than that, my mental and emotional well-being is so much better. I was in therapy for 3 years and just recently stepped out on my own without it. I feel I have the tools and resources needed to be successful moving forward. Also, the man I was dating is now my fiancé. We will have a small wedding, just the 2 of us, by our favorite river that we fish often from. We have been together almost 3 years, and each and every day gets better and better. I never knew love could be easy. He has been there even with my loss of health. And you can be with us through everything if you listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
That's right. You can be with us through everything except a complete loss of internet connection.
That's true, unless you
download
downloaded us.
Unless you download.
And then we're good. And then you just need battery.
It pays to be prepared.
But we've got a little bit left. Any final thoughts?
I'm happy for you.
Now on disability, and Mitch has shown me through his actions that he values and respects me. Never once have I felt a burden to him. Our lives have changed dramatically due to my health, but we laugh often and look forward to our future. My kids and friends love him. I was very open to any criticism people might have when I dated him because it's obvious my picker was broken. She said, everyone likes him, right? We all think he's good.
Everyone's cool with him?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I am slowly losing my independence due to my body. Oh, and he steps up every time. I am so lucky. We are so lucky. We have what people dream of. To think of how broken I was so many years ago and how colorful and amazing my life is now takes my breath away. I am loved by many. I am safe. I am happy. I wish each and every one of you the best. And that's the end of the story.
My husband's best friend insulted our marriage for years, and I finally exploded.
You're out!
I, 36 female, am married to my husband, Sam, 47 male. He's known his group of friends since he was about 16, and he's especially close to one. Let's call him Victor. He has been a recurring problem in our relationship. By the way, this comes from user TomatioK4633. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
Oh, wow. I was drinking something. I'm Keon.
We're going to read this story. We're going to tell you what we think. You tell us what you think down in the comments. You little goobers. OP says, I met my husband just before the vid, and during lockdown, we talked constantly and connected deeply. Once restrictions eased, we finally met in person and clicked immediately. I knew early on he was someone I could spend my life with. Because of the vid, I didn't meet his friends many times before he proposed. I met Victor twice, and he seemed really nice at first. My husband and I dated for a year, got engaged, and planned our wedding for 2 years after our first date. At the time of our wedding, the vid restrictions were still strict in my country. If either the bride or groom tested positive, the wedding would be canceled. I asked my husband to be extra careful, especially in the 2 weeks leading up to the wedding. There's a particular local nightclub that was basically known as Vid Central.
Who's going to nightclubs during the vid?
People who didn't take it seriously.
That's actually crazy.
Wake up, it's time to live. That's the people.
Yikes. Yikes.
People constantly caught the vid over there. His friends wanted to throw him a bachelor party, and I agreed, but asked that they do it a month before the wedding, not close to the date. Victor insisted on holding it 10 days before the wedding.
Okay, so if, your husband catches it immediately, he'll have 10 days.
That's weird.
That is really weird.
It's weird.
Like, couldn't we do it 15 days? Like, just literally just a couple more days, and then if he got COVID, he'd be fine.
Why does that? Yeah. Why are we so insistent? I was uncomfortable, but I wanted my husband to celebrate. I told him to have fun. Just avoid that specific club. He agreed and told his friends. Victor took him to that club anyway. My husband insisted on leaving, but Victor guilt-tripped him into staying, saying he booked a $1,000 VIP table despite my husband repeatedly saying no. My husband is a huge people pleaser and went along with it.
Yeah, there is no like, oh, my husband refused and got pushed into it. No, your husband agreed. You told him not to do that, and then his friend said, no, please, please. And he was like, oh, okay. Like, no, just say no.
He spent $1,000.
Nah, I don't care.
He spent $1,000.
You knew I didn't want to go there? So if I tell someone I am not going to this specific place because of this important reason, and they say, well, I know you said that, but I spent $1,000. I go, oh no, oh bummer. So you just wasted $1,000.
Why did you do that?
Why'd you do that? Well, you can go. I'm gonna not go.
Why?
You have fun. I'm gonna stay. Stupid.
Oh, that's what I would say.
Yeah. If someone came up to me and they were like, I know you told me not to do this thing, But I did it anyway because they made me feel bad.
4 days before our wedding, my husband tested positive. 5 other guys who attended the party got it too. I was devastated and furious. We had to postpone the wedding by a week, pay extra fees, and some of my family who had gone through a lot to attend due to international travel restrictions couldn't make it anymore. I seriously considered not marrying him, not because he got sick, but because he didn't stand up for himself or for us. Ultimately, I let it go after my family and friends encouraged me to be understanding. This wasn't my only serious issue with Victor. 3 months before the wedding, my husband was renovating his flat and needed temporary storage for his TV. Victor had borrowed $100,000 from my husband to buy a 6-bedroom landed house that he lives in with just his wife.
What?
Dakota, I love you. If you asked for that amount of money,
$100,000.
Honestly, wait. Let's just take a second. $100,000 to buy a 6-bedroom house. That's an investment.
Yeah, am I getting paid back?
We're getting paid back at some point on that one, babe.
this is also
6 bedrooms, $100K?
this is also probably during the vid.
Is there any
Who's
interest, or
moving
is he
in?
just
Yeah.
paying you back 100K?
I don't know what the property values are like where you live. I don't think that exists in the country of the United States. I don't think you can buy a 6-bedroom house for $100,000.
But I think that's only an investment for Victor, unless OP's husband entered some sort of contract that said you owe me like there's going to be interest on this, or when you sell it, I get some sort of piece of the pie.
You should 100% have done that.
Yes. I don't think he did.
4 bedrooms, empty. My husband asked Victor for a small favor if he could store the TV in one empty room for a few months. Victor said no, claiming his wife wouldn't allow it and that having a boxed TV would ruin the aesthetics of the house. Victor suggested my husband store it in the garden where he keeps tools, knowing it could be damaged by rain. My husband didn't push back. I ended up storing the TV in my bedroom at my parents' place. I'm Asian, live in an extremely expensive city, and moving out before marriage isn't common. For context, Victor did eventually pay the money back, but it took him 2 years. Victor is a lawyer, so is his wife, and he drives a fancy car and always needs to look rich. Victor has also been openly chauvinistic. After we got married and hung out a bit more, I started seeing his true colors. At a party after his wife had recently given birth, I told her she looked amazing and glowing. Victor chimed in and said, no, she still has weight to lose and pimples to get rid of. I heel kick you into the limitless pit.
If I ever heard someone say that, if I heard one of my boyfriend's friends saying that, I go to my boyfriend and say, I actually never want to be around that person ever again. Why are you friends with this person?
Heel kick into the infinite pit.
You suck.
Why are we like? What does he bring other than just negative energy?
He sucks.
Ew, what does he have
He's
over
a
your
lawyer.
husband?
Yeah, not a bad lawyer.
Okay.
He's a bad lawyer.
Okay, yeah, okay, great. So he's corrupt.
We all know lawyers are the greatest force of good in the world.
I'm not saying every lawyer is a bad lawyer or corrupt, but come on.
This one is.
This one can definitely is. You can tell this one's easily corrupted.
Big time.
I was livid when I heard this. She looked incredible, probably a 25-inch waist 3 months postpartum. I immediately shut him down. He frequently speaks harshly to my husband. For example, his 4-year-old daughter was trying to explain a game. I got it immediately because I work with kids, but my husband took a while. Victor said, wow, you are extremely slow. What a useless person you are, in a joking manner. It's this kind of put-down disguised as humor that Victor enjoys. I understand that some guys joke harshly, but calling someone useless, stupid, or a loser feels cruel. My husband laughs it off. He's never spoken to anyone that way or put his friends down. I've had to stand up for my husband more than once, tactfully, of course. When I asked my husband why he tolerates it, he just said, Victor is like that. They've been friends for more than 30 years. Victor also treats his wife terribly. He openly admits he doesn't love her that much, calls their relationship transactional, and sees her primarily as someone who supports his career and property investments. My husband's best friend insulted our marriage for years, and I finally exploded.
And your husband is friends with him?
This is just a man living the dream. Just all he's doing is just living the dream, babe. Yeah.
He sounds like a delight.
I like my wife a little. I really like how she invests in our property and supports my career.
I like my wife in the way that I like my real estate agent.
He never takes her on dates and refuses to travel alone with her. He always insists my husband or other friends join them. I rarely hang out with him because I don't want to put myself in situations where I get worked up by his comments. Fast forward to a few days ago, Victor called my husband. My husband put him on speaker because Victor video called and he didn't want to hold his phone. I was beside my husband in the study working. Victor insisted my husband go on an overnight trip out of the country with him and his wife. My husband didn't want to go. We have cats and would need to arrange care. Our cousin usually comes to stay for a week when we travel, and asking her to come for just one night felt unreasonable. When my husband suggested a day trip instead, Victor got angry. He said things like, "Is it because your wife won't let you? Is it because you have no money? I'll pay for the sitter. What a loser you are. I'll pay, bro. Give me a price. What nonsense excuses." It went on and on. Then Victor said something that pushed me over the edge. "You've changed ever since you married her. She's controlling you, isn't it?" That is when I snapped. I said roughly, "I'm here, and yes, I'm going to control this conversation. I'm sorry your relationship with your wife is so miserable that you need to interfere in ours to feel better. It's pathetic that you can't be alone with your own wife and need my husband as a buffer." My husband said no. No means no. Please respect his boundaries and F off.
Nice. So satisfying.
And I guarantee your husband is gonna go, "You can do that to him?"
No, he's gonna go, "Babe, that wasn't very nice."
Wait, you
It's
can
just like that.
you can stand up to him?
He's going to like hold out his hand. There's going to be like sparks like going between his fingertips. And he's going to be like, "What is this power? What is this power?" And then it's Victor.
Victor.
And then I ended the call. My husband was shocked, but he understood that Victor went too far. I told him I was hurt and disappointed that he didn't immediately stand up for me when Victor blamed me for controlling him. My husband apologized and said he planned to talk to Victor and set boundaries, especially since they have mutual friends they see in group settings.
Yeah, where? Where was that? In the shower?
I planned to talk to Victor, but then I got
I was
scared.
going to talk to him in my head.
I said some really good things in the shower.
I was going to say some things in my brain.
It sounded so good.
It sounded so good, and then I just got scared.
Victor now refuses to speak to my husband unless I apologize for insulting his relationship. I don't want to apologize. I feel bad for exploding, but I'm exhausted after years of disrespect. What should I do? Am I the a-hole? No. What should you do? Never talk to him ever again. And if he shows up, you go poof, and you spit in his face.
Yeah, I think you tell your husband, "I am never talking to Victor again." If he needs me to apologize to him, to bow down to him for you guys to have a relationship, then thank God, because I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it'll never happen.
It's not going to happen, so I guess you don't have a relationship with Victor anymore. No.
Bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam.
I
If
guess
I
you can
find out you're
call
freaking blaming me to your friends about your relationship falling apart, you're going to have problems.
Victor the loser.
Yeah. Ain't feeling so victorious now, are you, bud?
Update. I won't be showing this post to my husband, at least not now, as some comments were very harsh towards him. I needed to hear them. While I understand and agree with parts of them, he's currently in therapy, and I don't want to discourage his progress. I do agree that he struggles to stand up for himself. This has been a recurring issue in our relationship, and something we've talked about extensively. My husband is very patient, gentle, and always sees the good in people, sometimes to his own detriment. I'm the opposite. I'm very direct and speak up when I see someone being mistreated. That's why I spoke out when Victor was cruel to his wife. Victor knows I don't like him. He overcompensates by praising me publicly, sometimes saying I'm too good for my husband, which I always rebut. He always buys expensive gifts, which makes me uncomfortable. It feels performative, like proof that he is nice and I'm the problem. I've never bought into it, especially after seeing how he treats his wife. But many of you are right. Victor isn't the real problem. My husband is, for allowing this to continue. My husband only sees Victor every couple months, usually because Victor initiates. In therapy, my husband is unpacking why he still feels tied to him and struggles to stand up for himself. For context, Victor was his first friend when my husband returned to the country at 17 and introduced him to the group. There's a strong sense of loyalty. Victor also fits the pattern of intense friendship followed by subtle cruelty masked as jokes that would make someone maybe narcissistic. By the way, go right now. Go. You, Steve Bermuda. Go listen to full episodes with stories just like this on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, and that's the only one you ever use. Search OK Storytime wherever you listen to podcasts. Find us. Listen to us. Steve Bermuda. Whew, we've got some more story. Let's just go. We spoke again today. My husband plans to talk to another friend in the group. Let's call him Pete. Pete has a banter-heavy relationship with Victor and often calls him out. I explained that what Victor does to my husband isn't banter, it's bullying. Banter goes both ways. My husband agrees and feels Pete may be a good ally. Yes, I chose to marry my husband, and I accept that. He has treated me with love and kindness, and I love him deeply. He isn't perfect, and neither am I. Our relationship isn't perfect, but I believe people can change if they want to, and he's actively trying. For now, he's distracting himself from Victor and refusing invites. It's not perfect, but it's a start.
All right, then. That's true. As long as he's working on it and you're distancing from Victor, then that's the main thing. That's our goal.
That's where we're at.
My wife asked for a divorce in the car, then took it back 5 minutes later.
That's gotta be the worst car ride ever.
My wife, let's call her Amy, 32 female, and I, 31 male, have been together for 4 years. Living together for 2 and married for 1. I can go on and on about the beauty our relationship has had. There is a reason I moved practically across the U.S. for her. Much to the shock of my 2 best friends, let's call them Jeff and Adam, both 30 male. So it's safe to say that we have our good moments and there's a lot of things that connect us, and I really could see a future with her. There was a lot of growing into each other over time and a lot we endured to get to the point where it felt good to move in together. I get along with her family very well, her friends very well, and it felt like we meshed seamlessly. Then it hit a huge wall. A rough year hit us when Amy's mom got really ill to the point where we weren't sure if she was going to make it or not. She ended up recovering, thankfully, but the whole family rallied around her, and all of this on top of Amy's stressful work as a finance worker led her to tell me one night after she uncharacteristically got really mad at me that she was severely depressed to the point I was worried about her well-being. This led to a fallout between us where she refused to get help, started to even deny that she was depressed in the first place, and refused to talk about it and get angry at me for bringing any of it up or keep suggesting therapy, and just turned cold to me. And this is coming right from who?
Throwaway divorceness.
But OP's got a lot more to say, but if you want to say something, you can go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. But I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice, goofly, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP continues. After a while, it got so emotionally manipulative. She mentioned that if I were to leave, she would hurt herself when I wasn't there. Ooh. It got so bad to the point where I made sure the proper support was around her at the time, made sure 2 trusted family members knew the situation, and then just left. Now I know what you're thinking. Why the F are you back in this position then? And why doesn't the story just end there with divorce? Because I let her reel me back in. And I thought that maybe if we actually did the therapy like we were supposed to, we could fix things. Which she so brazenly threw in my face that I was the one that gave up. I was the one who left that night, even though she never wanted to even try therapy until that moment. And I'll admit, in that moment, I felt so guilty it overwhelmed me, as if I was a failure for not doing enough. So I came back. Here we are. Therapy is not working because, lo and behold, she still doesn't show up. She only showed up for the very first appointment and nothing after, and doesn't do any of the stuff that the therapist recommends at home. I can't really talk to anyone else because in her mind, the most important thing that makes her happy is me being here and us doing things like watching TV and playing with the dogs and hanging out with people who still have no clue what's actually going on. Adam and Jeff care a lot about me, and we have all been good friends for almost 10 years at this point. And they were the first to know when I first left what really happened. And they're asking me if things are now getting any better. I told them the truth that no, they're not. On the surface, it seems fine, but underneath, no work is being done in actuality. Because she likes to pretend it never happened. She always asked when she knows I talked to Adam or Jeff what we talked about, and if we talked about our relationship is doing, because she doesn't like me talking about it. Why not? Because it's not going well, and maybe it should end? Is that why?
You're in a tough tango right now.
Yeah.
I think you need to just do what you did before, which is make sure she has the support around her to make sure she's not going to hurt herself and then leave and never come back and disappear.
It's so, yeah, I don't know.
If you're out, you're out.
You're out.
But I don't think she can accept that. Like, she knows things are bad, but she can't accept that things are bad. Or she won't be like, no, if I don't acknowledge it, if I don't, like, react to it or, like, give into that, then everything's fine.
Yeah.
Right?
I think OP's just been holding on for a while now. Sometimes I skate around it, but this time I said we did, and I told them the truth. She got upset and went into her feelings like she'll never be good enough and that I overvalue therapy as a basis for how our relationship is doing. She doesn't like to acknowledge how effed up I am mentally still over everything, and even more how effed up she is.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, not insane. I'm not calling her insane, but, like, she's one of those people, like, it's not bad if I just say it's not bad. Like,
if I ignore
fine.
it, it's not real.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, like, threatening to, like, remove yourself from existence if someone breaks up with you is a little insane. That's an insane behavior, and it needs to be addressed. It's not a normal. That is not normally good. It's not okay in any way. It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it's like, no, stop acting like it's not, because it obviously is.
Any advice on what to do other than just pack my bags at this point for good? That is the answer. Because she's not going to change with you around.
And you've tried everything, and she won't accept it, and now she's calling you out by, like, you overvaluing therapy?
Yeah, there really is, unfortunately, no incentive for her to change when you stay in this relationship. And maybe she would change if you left, and maybe at some point down the line, you could, retry, but it's not right now. And for those asking or wondering, yes, she did go on medication after I originally left because the two trusted family members convinced her she had a problem. She still denies things ever getting as bad as they did and doesn't like thinking about it anymore, as if to just want to bury it in the past, and is mad at me for not being willing to do that, even though it's still so fresh in my mind. And we've got an update, but any other thoughts?
She's like, why aren't you delusional like me? You're bad. You're bad and you're mean, and this is actually you doing something against me.
Yeah,
because you're not able to cope with this.
She's probably like, you're bringing up negative energy. Like, you're bringing up the negativity up in here. Like, everything's fine. Everything's been fine, but obviously you're negative. She just can't accept it.
No. She can't look herself in the mirror yet. But we've got an update. After that post, I took some time to try and really process everything I was feeling. Her sister hosted a Christmas party, which we attended, and it was a good change of pace. Amy enjoyed it, so that was nice, and I do enjoy being with her family, so it was good to see them. Fast forward a few days after, Amy and I were going grocery shopping, and on the way back, I was thinking of our next therapy session that I had scheduled. I talked to Adam and Jeff, my two best friends from the previous post, about how I was going to use this session to really see how much hope there is to have for our future, and really lay my emotions completely on the table about the hurt and damage I feel. That's been hard to talk to her about because our communication degraded. Thinking about the session got me really stressed, and knowing it was coming soon had affected my mood, and Amy could tell I was feeling low, so she asked me what was up. I told her I would rather talk about it later, but she said she wanted to talk about it now. I told her that I was feeling stressed and overwhelmed with the upcoming therapy session, and thinking about it brings back a lot of bad memories, and it's just been a hard day for me so far because of that. It was at this point she told me she didn't think this was going to work and that she wanted a divorce.
I mean...
Okay,
in a sense, for her to do that is more initiative than she's put in like the last, I don't
Yeah.
know how long this has been going on.
I mean, she's just been kind of like coasting.
This is like the first time she's actually acknowledged something
Is wrong.
bad. Yeah, something wrong, something
Yeah.
bad.
I'd be cautiously optimistic, but part of me would be like, well, this is just a bluff. She's just trying to bluff you into being like, no, don't leave. Don't do that. Don't, please. And you're going to be like, oh my God, yes. Please divorce me.
Yeah, I hope so.
And then she's going to go, oh, what do you mean? And that's going to be hard.
Yeah. At that point, a mixture of numbness and heartache really hit. Because on one hand, I feel like I was questioning on whether staying was best or not. And in other, it was still a painful ripping out of my heart because I still love her a lot. It was a pretty silent car ride after that, and I thought, well, the next move is now clear. As we got home, I pretty much said a goodbye to our dogs and said I'll start looking into the process, and I want to make the divorce as painless as possible. Then she said that she wanted to go to therapy. Switch up. She said, oh, wait, you mean when I said in the car? No. I didn't mean that. I just want to go to our therapy
You say,
session.
ooh, sorry, babe. There's actually a no takesies backsies clause in our relationship. I put
Sorry.
in there. Ooh, sorry. Ooh.
Whoever said divorce dealt it. That's the rule. And I gotta deal with it now. This is confusing the F out of me because she just told me we were done and that she wanted a divorce. And it felt like she was playing with my heart at that point. I was resistant to it, and she asked me why I wasn't willing to give it another chance. And I told her, you just broke up with me. Our therapist is a nice lady and said, regardless of what happens, come to the session to hash things out. It was pretty illuminating for her, but at the same time, it felt raw and effed up for me to even be there. She's telling me now that she's ready to do whatever it takes to be better, but I think I can't trust anything she says anymore. So I'll be staying with Adam for the meantime, as I told him what happened, and he offered for me to crash at his place for a bit while I figure things out. And we've got a second update. Oh, boy.
You had her. She said,
got
I'm
her.
willing to do whatever it takes. And you say, well, I think it's going to take us breaking up. What?
I think we got to go our own way for it to work.
Yeah, like Stevie Nicks or whatever.
Fleetwood
Go
Mac.
your own way. Update 2.
Who sang the song?
Go your
Don't talk to
own
me.
way.
Don't talk to me.
The divorce is going to happen, and it's been a brutal time for me. I was staying at Adam's place, collecting my thoughts and figuring things out. As I was with Adam, she texted me saying that there was an urgent emergency and that I needed to call her. Ooh, is the urgent emergency that she just doesn't want to divorce you?
The urgent emergency is, hey, I'm going to make it your fault if I hurt myself if you do this. So now you
Dummy.
have to come back. Gotcha. Trap card, checkmate.
I picked up, fearing that she was hurt or one of our dogs was gravely ill all of a sudden. And it turned out that there was no emergency, but that she wanted to hear my voice again and that she misses me. I questioned her as to why she would lie about there being an emergency, and she said that for her, it was an emergency. She then asked if I wanted to talk about what the future is going to look like. I don't know. You'd have to figure that on your own, because we're not going to have a future together. And I told her that I would rather have that conversation face to face and would be back at the house soon. She then goes on and says that this is what she mainly called about and asks if I have been on any dates during this time and that she absolutely had to know. And I told her no, obviously not. It was really hard to see her, and during the drive over to our old place, my heart wavered a lot, so I tried to remain resolute in my mind. When we had actually began to discuss things properly, she told me that she feels like right now neither of us should be in a relationship, and she was speaking extremely clearly, making me think that this was something she was resolute about also. It's interesting to me that she keeps approaching you with your own ideas. She's like,
Yeah.
I don't, I know that you're upset about this, but we need to be by ourselves, We just can't keep holding on like you're doing.
And you're like,
Yes, I
Yeah.
know.
I just,
She-
you're, yeah.
she's acting like she's complete control just of like everything.
I don't mean to have this sound too insensitive when I say it, but your ex-wife, your should-be ex-wife, is like the embodiment of a mentally ill person in a relationship. Like you can't, there's nothing for you there for either of you. You can't do this. You can't talk to her. You can't go to the house. You have to disappear.
Yeah, because honestly, it hurts you both more for you to keep coming back to her and engaging in this.
You can't do this.
She told me that she felt like she was always tiptoeing with me on what to say around me in fear of hurting my feelings or me getting stressed. I told her that I wasn't here to fight or argue over feelings or who's right or wrong, but to just acknowledge the state of the situation, that this relationship is broken, and if she feels this way, and I feel the way I do, then it's time for us to close this chapter of our life, and that I don't resent her or have ill will towards her, and I just want her to be happy, and for us both to be happy. She then asks if I would consider ever trying again with her in the future, and if this chapter of our lives is fully closed or if we could leave it open. And I told her I don't think so. And for the health of both of us in the sense of moving on and focusing on ourselves, it's best to close it. She didn't like that answer and was sad, of course.
She didn't like that
She
answer?
is so confusing.
She literally just talked out of both sides of her
Wait,
neck immediately.
That wasn't the answer I had in my head.
I know I just told you that we need to stop this forever, but why?
Can we just leave the door
But
like
should we
half
keep the door open on it?
Yeah, like just a little open. Can we leave
Just a
it just a
crack?
little?
She didn't like that answer and was sad, of course, as was I, but it felt like the right thing to say. We then talked about how we would split the assets, who takes the pets, etc. She told me that she felt emotionally mistreated by me, and that was a hard sentence to stomach.
Yeah, it's
OP.
your fault that she did all those things.
OP,
actually.
you fully need to understand that she was going to say anything.
She's gonna say anything now, especially that you said the opposite of what she was thinking. Oh, she's gonna pull out anything to make you feel bad,
Yeah.
and it's gonna make it. Yeah, it's hard to hear, but it's gonna make it easier for you to leave her.
I told her that I'm not going to argue or invalidate your feelings on that, and I'm sorry if I ever made you feel that way, but if that's how you feel, then this is the right step for us to take. It was hard saying goodbye. It still doesn't exactly feel real to me, and I think I've just been numb the past month. It's been one of the hardest months of my life. I needed to try and find an apartment for the time being, but it's been difficult to find a place. However, after a lot of trial and error, and nights where I felt like I was just going to be sleeping in my car for a while, I ended up finding one in a city that I'm not really familiar with, but thought it could be a new start. With the winter storm, it hasn't been exactly the best of starts, and I'm feeling extremely isolated and alone, but I'm trying to move on, and you guys can move on with us to our next full episode of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But we've got a little bit left to the story. Any final thoughts?
Good on you. You did it.
Good on
You
you.
moved to the new town, new life, new place, new city, new tastes.
Yes, you're an uptown boy.
Uptown boy. It's true. And that's good. As for Amy, she called me sobbing. Of course she did. And told me to reconsider again after our last conversation. That she's owning up to the fact that she has trauma and that there's been a lot of damage done and that she's sorry. I told her I'm sorry too. I said I know I wasn't always perfect and that I will always care for her, but it isn't going to work. And I told her to not be alone right now and that she has a ton of support in her corner from her family and close friends who all care a lot about her. That was the last time we spoke as of now. It's been horrible recently for me mentally today, thinking that hopefully I come out of this okay. And that's the end of that story.
Block your ex-wife. Block your ex-wife.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You have to. You have to at this point because she's going to keep reaching out to you,
Block your
knowing that you'll
ex-wife.
respond.
Block your
And
ex-wife.
that ain't good
Block
for
your
either of you.
ex-wife. Oh, yeah, yeah.
But that's the end of that
Block
story.
all your ex-wife
Ooh, baby.
numbers.